Today, the Central Valley School District is voting on the Title IX policy. We'll break down what the vote means at 5.
Sunshine's back and temperatures start climbing. We're back in the 70s for most of the week.
Today is National Day of Awareness for Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and People. And today, Washington senators are addressing the problem. Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan. Today is Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women Day. KREM 2's Shannon Mowdy takes us to Northern Quest Resort and Casino, where they are raising awareness all month long.
With the sounds of tradition and somber silhouettes to honor the lost, Northern Quest Resort and Casino held a day of awareness and remembrance of missing and murdered Indigenous people.
Native Americans make up less than 2% of the population in the United States, and yet our missing and murdered rate is 10 times that of all the other nationalities, and it's heartbreaking.
Here in the Heritage Hallway at Northern Quest Casino, these red dresses symbolize missing and murdered Indigenous women who make up half of all missing and murdered Indigenous people in Washington state.
In Washington state alone, there are 112 missing Native American persons identified as of April 15, 2025. Half of these cases originate in eastern Washington, according to the Washington State Patrol.
That number has gone up by 1, says Resort and Casino General Manager Nick Pierre.
As one of our own is directly affected by the ongoing search for a missing relative, on behalf of the Gallup Miles family, we ask you to remain vigilant and help us search for Malia Yala, a 15-year-old Colville tribal member who has been missing for over 2 weeks. Your family writes, Malia, we love you and miss you. Please make contact so we know you are okay.
This month, Spokane's YWCA is fundraising for the cause. The Kalispell Tribe Charitable Fund will match up to $5,000 in donations made until May 31st. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
All right, let's switch gears and talk weather with Chief Meteorologist Jeremy DeGoo. We sent him outside to the Outdoor Weather Center. Well, maybe he's out there to talk about just a beautiful Monday afternoon. Jeremy?
Mark, I'm out here. Hello? Oh, I didn't think I was out here for a half second there. Good thing we made it. 66 degrees is where we currently sit. It's as warm as we have been so far today, but if you get outside, 66 degrees feels quite warm. I was wandering around in shorts earlier today, and that's about where we're going to be all week long. Temperatures today, as cold as they will be in at least the next 7. 66, 65 in Coeur d'Alene, 68 out in Ritzville, and pretty warm down across the Palouse. Nothing on satellite and radar, and you have to zoom out pretty far to see our changing weather pattern. A little activity out to our east, a ridge building out to our west, and then a storm sitting in the Gulf of Alaska. All of those things play a big role in what we wind up seeing. So let's put it in motion. Sunshine dominates Tuesday and most of Wednesday before clouds start building ahead of a round of showers that moves in Wednesday night. That round of showers you see moving in Wednesday night, well, for most of us, it's not going to be anything. Not even drops on your car, because we are just going to trend that much drier. Seriously, most of that stays up in the mountains and moves out by the time we wake up Thursday. Thursday then winds up a little bit cooler on the backside of that cold front. But when we talk a little bit cooler, still warmer than where we were today. 68 degrees isn't all that bad, and with the morning low much warmer than we were today. Thursday just winds up warmer altogether. 74 Tuesday, 78 Wednesday. We're near 80, but not quite there until we get to the weekend.
We'll check back in with you later in the show. Today, the Central Valley School District is voting on whether they'll file a complaint against Washington State. The board
Please keep your comments about topics or issues and refrain from providing disparaging remarks about other people or group. The board will promote the highest levels of civility and respect in our board meetings and will not tolerate behavior which is disruptive to the meeting. This includes shouting, profanity, threats of violence, or name calling. The board's silence will not signal agreement or endorsement of the speaker's remarks, but the board may...
The district says they're stuck in the middle. Following state rules means breaking federal rules and vice versa. The meeting happening right now, and KREM 2's Connor McAvoy is at the meeting. He'll share the outcome later today. But first, in our effort to bring you more to every story, KREM 2's chief journalist Amanda Rowley is in the studio tonight to break down what's at stake for Washington school districts who violate either state or federal laws. Amanda? All right. We were having some issues with Amanda's microphone right there, so we'll try to get that story, get back to her when we can figure that out. In the meantime, let's go to Amanda's story right now.
These are the totals for each school district's estimated revenue from state and federal resources. Districts won't have the actual total until the end of the school year. If school districts violate state or federal laws, this is how much they would lose. This year, Spokane Public Schools is estimated to receive more than $415 million from the state and $50 million in federal funding. Central Valley School District estimates nearly $14 million in federal dollars. Another way to look at this is the percentage of these revenue sources. For the most part, state dollars make up the largest amount of school district funding. Meanwhile, federal dollars make up between 5 to 8% of projected revenue. While the federal government funds a smaller portion of these school district budgets, those dollars fund impactful programs. Across the board, most of the federal revenue funds special education programs, such as the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, or IDEA. It's a federal law guaranteeing free and appropriate education for children with disabilities, ensuring they receive special education services. Some federal dollars also fund Title I, II, and III programs, which support struggling students, especially in low-income areas, trains teaching staff, and supports immigrant students in their English language development.
For now, Washington school districts are actively seeking guidance on which directives to follow to ensure they still receive both state and federal funding. Well, we are just getting started on KREM 2 News at 5. Here's what else we have planned for you. Today marks the 10th anniversary of Coeur d'Alene Police Sergeant who got killed in the line of duty. We have the moving moments from the ceremony that honored his service. And in the next 3 minutes, student loan repayments resume today. We're live at Gonzaga with the impact it has on students.